What if we could have a snapshot, a moment of living dinosaur behavior captured complete, frozen in the fossil record for all time? It turns out such an event is possible. In the 1970s, a Polish expedition into the Gobi Desert of China unearthed this remarkable fossil. It is called the fighting dinosaurs. Besides the extraordinary preservation of the protoceratops and the velociraptor, the fossil has captured the behavior they were engaged in right up to the moment of their death. Here's how it might have happened. Locked in a life and death struggle, these two creatures were buried alive. Such extraordinary fossils are called life assemblages.
Now, fossil records can be divided into two categories. One is called death assemblages, where animals die, they're ripped apart by predators and things like that. Then all their bones are washed into a deposit. On the other hand, there's life assemblages, where animals are buried alive. And it's really the life assemblages which I think tell us the most about parental care.
So the search was on to find fossils that would reveal the secrets of dinosaur reproductive and social behavior, and the place to look was the Gobi Desert. Remember, the Gobi Desert in Mongolia was where Roy Chapman Andrews led his groundbreaking expedition in the 1920s. It was the place where dinosaur eggs were first properly identified. But it was also dinosaur heaven for paleontologists because of the abundance of dinosaur remains and their exceptional state of preservation. In 1993, a team of paleontologists from the American Museum, led by Mark Norell, began to unearth an extraordinary oviraptor specimen in the Gobi Desert. An oviraptor is a medium-sized bipedal dinosaur. It has powerful long claws and, oddly, no teeth. Its name means egg robber because specimens were found in association with broken eggs. The belief was that it had stolen and eaten the eggs. But was that assumption ever wrong?
Well, starting in 1993, we discovered some great oviraptor fossils in the Gobi Desert. And these are great because they're actually snapshots of time. It's an animal sitting on top of its nest, brooding its eggs, just like a modern bird would. Some people have questioned our interpretation of it, saying that, in fact, this animal either died in this position, haphazardly associated with the nest, or it was in the act of laying eggs. But I think we can really disqualify that on a number of grounds. One of the major ones is we found other individuals now. We've found two more at the same locality in the Gobi Desert. There's one that was found at Bayanmandahu in China. All of these animals have the same stereotypical position of sitting in the middle of the nest with their arms wrapped back around the perimeter of the nest. So just because we always find them in the same position really indicates to me, in fact, that they are brooding their eggs in the same way that modern birds do today.
So many oviraptor dinosaurs buried alive with the nests of their eggs. At last, scientists had a picture of their behavior at the very moment of their death. The circular pattern of egg laying with a hole in the center suggests that perhaps some dinosaurs sat on the nests, like modern birds do. But did these creatures brood their eggs in the true sense of imparting heat to the developing embryos?
It's really difficult for us to say whether these animals were cooling the eggs, heating the eggs, or maybe it's just some elaborate version of taking care of the eggs, of protecting them from predators. We can't really test that directly because at this point we don't know enough about the physiology, the metabolism of these extinct animals. Some of the more interesting things that have to do with dinosaur metabolism, physiology, and development really has to do with the eggshells, not the bones of the dinosaurs themselves. Some of the things that people are looking at now concern what's called dinosaur eggshell microstructure. And using scanning electron microscopy or a host of other methods, they can dissect out the separate layers that make up the dinosaur eggshell. And what they found is really pretty remarkable, is that primitive dinosaurs, the eggshell microstructure tends to look much more like a crocodile or a lizard or the typical reptilian plant. But the animals which are most closely related to birds, the theropod dinosaurs, the ones that we have eggshells of, like troodonids, like oviraptor, like things like that, really show the exact same microstructure as modern birds do. And because the eggshell microstructure is really tied up in the physiology of the animal as it develops, you can make sort of a soft inference that the physiology of these animals, the ones most closely related to modern birds, was very, very similar to what we see in animals that are alive today.
And everything we know about dinosaur eggs and hatching sites and dinosaur bones and tracks prove this same message. When you think dinosaur, think big bird.